Good evening, everyone. I am Angela Gegg, and you're watching Influential Dubai. We're broadcasting from the VMC TV studios right here in the United Arab Emirates. Having a media platform gives me a personal responsibility to use my voice and give back to society. I use my voice to send messages to my viewers, and I give back to society by inviting successful entrepreneurs, remarkable individuals, businesses, celebrities, artists, and entertainers onto the show. And today is no exception, as I'm joined in the studios with a versatile man, a man of many talents, Canadian-born and Dubai-based DJ, producer, and entrepreneur. His name is Hindi, also known as DJ Kardiac. DJ Kardiac, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us here in the studios.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's another episode of Influential Dubai.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm doing great. You're here?
Yes. Finally.
Yes, exactly. We've been talking about getting you on the show.
That's true.
Well-known DJ in Dubai.
I try my best.
Man of many talents.
Thank you. Yeah.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. We're going to get to all of it.
Let's do it.
First and foremost, why don't you tell myself and my audience a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Kitab. I go by DJ Kardiac. I am a 31 years old entrepreneur, DJ, producer. I do many things, between the construction world and the AI world and the music world. I have 2 degrees, one in architecture from Canada, as well as audio engineering and mixing and mastering from Canada as well. And I made the move here to Dubai 2 years ago, and it's been great. You know? Yeah.
Well, what made you decide to move to Dubai?
Honestly, I used to live in Dubai before when I was younger, because my family have been here since '93. So from 2000 to 2007, I actually lived in UAE. And I didn't really get to experience it the way I'm experiencing it now, because my family is like super protective, right? So we were always like at home. When we go out only with the family. So Dubai was the last thing on my mind or my radar to come back to, because I've always liked being in North America, like I just feel more comfortable there with my own people, right?
Yeah.
So to be honest, COVID was the reason why I made the switch, Before COVID, everything was amazing. I owned my businesses in Canada. Music was going great. Everything was going awesome. I was mainly in the entertainment business. So as you know, entertainment got destroyed, especially in North America, from like lockdown in Canada was horrible for a couple of years.
Right.
So at the end of that, like going through like deep depression and not knowing what to do, and just kind of like not knowing the end of what's going to happen in the next couple of years, I got a very good opportunity here by my family to just kind of try to move here and try to start back from zero, I guess, which was a very scary thought, because like you built something so big in another continent, and then you decide to come somewhere where nobody knows who you are and just kind of like start from zero, right? So that's why I moved here. That's pretty much why, yeah.
So a degree in architecture, you said, and what else?
And audio engineering.
Oh, so that's what got you into DJing?
No. Audio engineering, I did it through during COVID. Yeah, so I've always liked music. Since I was like a little kid, my family would tell me like I was on the keyboard. I loved being like an artist, right? So it wasn't on my radar. It was more of the production side of it. So, but my family was very strict. So, my dad is a doctor, surgeon. All my uncles are either surgeons or engineers or architects. It's a Middle Eastern family. So,
yes, it's very strict.
Yeah, music was not on the radar for any of them. So for me, it was more of a hobby. And DJing came later, when I was like 18, like 17, 18. I fell in love with EDM as a whole, like specifically trance music, Tiesto and all these older guys, Armin van Buuren, and I just loved that aspect of it. And I realized that I can perform, because like making music, back then it's either if you're a performer, you have to be a singer, a drummer, or in a band or something like this, which I didn't really see myself doing any of them. And I realized that in DJing, I just found the niche market that I was looking for.
So like, when did you buy your first turntables? Do you remember?
16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And did you hide this from the family at the time?
No, not really.
Okay.
Like, my family was really cool with letting me try things as long as it was inside the house.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
This is a hobby. It's okay to do it. If you want to do sports, if you want to do this, if you want to do that, do it as long as it doesn't like interfere with your studies. So yeah, that's when I started doing those things at a very young age. I used to call myself like a bedroom DJ, right?
Okay,
just kind of,
that's
and not
cool.
knowing anything.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm the type of person that I don't drink, I don't do any of that stuff. So when I used to go out to like clubs and venues and things like this, as bad as it sounds, with like a fake ID at 15 years old, trying to go, I would be mainly focusing on just kind of like hearing the music and watching what the DJ is doing, you know? Just like, oh, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. So I would be the first to enter the place and the last to leave. So it's always been just the love of it, right? And yeah, I'm lucky enough now to do it as part of my career.
Your DJ name is Kardiac.
Yes.
And your real name is?
Katab.
Katab.
Yes.
So how Kardiac, Katab, how does, tell me about that, like the mix. Is there something behind it?
Yeah, of course. So before that, I was called something completely different, because I was doing more hip hop, R&B, production, ghost producing, all these things, and I toured with multiple like big large names and things like that. But Kardiac came through when I wanted to take EDM more serious, and the type of music that I like to produce is psytrance and trance, which is more of like a high upbeat, high BPM, beats per minute music. So Kardiac comes from cardiac arrest.
Oh,
yeah.
So
when
cool.
When you're at my shows and you're hearing the music that I make, I kind of put you through that experience of just like kind of like elevate your heartbeat so high that you feel like you're about to get a cardiac arrest.
Oh, cool.
And then I switched the beginning of it, because my Katab is KHA, right? So I just took that, added it to Kardiac, and just kind of created
Very
that whole
creative.
thing. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I had no idea. That's so cool.
Yeah,
That is
so
super
that's part of it.
creative.
Yeah, thank you.
Cardiac.
Thank you.
So before it used to be cardiac arrest.
No. It was just Kardiac.
Kardiac,
Yeah,
all
before
right.
that, I used to be called Apollo.
Ah, okay.
Something completely different.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of remarket the whole thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I had to kind of just remarket the whole thing, and we came up with this. We actually came up, it was me and my team. Me and my team, in Canada. We came up with it in literally a few hours, because I had a booking for a very big festival in Canada, and it was going to be the push of the new identity of Katab.
Yes, rebranding.
Yeah, but the festival is on the phone being like, okay, so what's his new name? We need something, you know, we need a logo, we need something. And we're just kind of like cramming everything together, and then we kind of put it together within like a few hours, and we sent it through, and it just stuck, you know, people liked it, and yeah.
I like it a lot.
Awesome, thank you.
It is very catchy.
Thank you.
It's very cool.
Thank you.
I always thought it was your real name.
Yeah, everybody thinks that.
I thought it was your real name.
Everyone
I was like,
thinks that.
Cardiac in the house. But
Everyone
that's
thinks
really,
that.
I love the play on words.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool to learn this about you.
Thank you.
So you started with EDM, but is that your favorite music genre?
Yes.
It is.
So EDM as Kardiac, yes. When I was younger, obviously I used to like hip hop, R&B.
But you play a lot of hip hop here in
I do.
Dubai.
I play open format, right?
Okay.
I enjoy. Okay, for me, live is different from production. If you ask me for production, I slowly like to make EDM music, which is all kinds of EDM, house, techno, trance, whatever it is. For DJing, I like getting energy from the crowd.
Yes.
Like I always go on the mic and say, my name is Kardiac. The way I work is I work on energy. The more energy you give me, the more of a good set I'll give you, the more of a good time I give you. So whatever it takes, if the crowd is happy, then I am happy. And I like all kinds of music, Angela. Like I love all kinds of music. And this is why. Yeah. I listen to country, I listen to jazz, I listen to rock, I listen to like 50s, 60s, whatever it is, right? Because when I used to design like buildings and things like this through architecture, I would get a lot of inspiration from that. And when I used to ghost produce for hip hop, I would get a lot of things from like the older style of music that I could just add into my own music. So it's all education, you know? Like if you don't know the history of the thing that you're passionate about, then you're not really passionate about it, right? So.
Well, I mean, I think architecture is art and music is art.
Exactly.
So they might be different, but they're somewhat of the same, if you ask me.
That's why I chose to go into it. Because I was in between the two lines of either be a doctor or do something at least close to what I really love, which is music. So that's
Do you prefer playing in Dubai or in Canada?
I don't want to offend people. I'll tell you the difference. I'll be very honest. I'm super honest with music, and this is why people appreciate my word, right? Dubai is a mix of different cultures.
Yes.
It's very, 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 very difficult to catch a vibe. What I mean by that is when you're in North America, you know for a fact that this is the culture. If you go to a club and they want hip hop, this club is going to go off to hip hop. If you go to a club that wants house, this club is going to go off to house. Dubai is a mix. So it's very difficult to understand what Eastern Europeans versus like British versus Asians versus Africans versus North Americans, and you could put them all in one space, right? How are you going to catch a vibe with that? So that's why for me, it's a different party. But to be fully honest with you, I've been talking to a lot of my friends in North America, and they're saying that after COVID, the vibe is still not there yet. And I feel, and everybody, it's funny because my friends are telling me North America this, and then here people in Dubai are telling me before COVID, it was a completely different vibe. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
So, it was completely different.
Yeah. So I feel like people are just not there yet, you know?
I agree.
Yeah. It's like we just got out of like a big war and we're still tired, right?
It was different.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
Meaning the party scene, right?
Yeah, the party scene.
Yeah, it was
that whole tables and things like this is just not
completely different.
Yeah, isolation.
The vibe is not the same.
Yeah, it's isolated. Every group they're doing their own vibe, and it's just you feel like more a loungy thing. Even the biggest clubs, right? Like I played at all the big places now, thankfully, and it's just very difficult to catch a vibe. So that's the weird thing about it.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
It
it's
makes
a struggle.
A lot of sense.
It's a struggle, but we make it happen, right? Like we try our best.
So I host a lot of events on stage to a live audience, and I feel the same.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to hype up the audience because there's so many different kind of characters.
Yeah.
Whereas in North America, where I was on stage as well, oh man, they were eating out of my hands like putty.
It's so easy, right?
And here, I'm just like, God, you all are boring. Like, I find myself on stage saying, this crowd sucks.
Yeah, it's just like, what's going on?
know?
Yeah.
There's no jokes, nothing you can do to make them. Yeah, so I get that, but in a different way.
But do you think it's because of COVID that whole?
No,
like,
I think it's the culture. It's like exactly what you said. Yes, I think it's because some of my jokes might be relative because I'm from North America to there, and everybody would laugh and die at those jokes.
That's true.
Here, so many this person they don't know what the heck I'm talking about.
Exactly.
So it's hard. I think it's the culture. Like
it is
exactly
the multicultural.
What you said.
Yeah, it's the multicultural.
You have the Eastern Europeans, you have the Arabs, you have the people from every walk of life, cold people, funny people, like you have.
Very true, very true. And it's very difficult to like understand how to please everyone, but like you kind of try your best.
That I can relate to.
At the same time, the education level in music here is not that good, to be fully honest with you.
What do you mean by that?
But like what I mean by that is, for example, I would be hanging out with the new friends that I have right now, who grew up here, for example.
Okay.
And I would put on a song from like early 90s or like even early 2000s. Be like, do you know this song? Like, no.
Like which song?
Let's say like early Chris Brown, early Lil Wayne, early
yeah.
like anything, right?
Like old school R&B.
Yeah. Not just R&B, like in every single thing, right? Versus you going to like Europe or going to like specific countries in Europe. And different genres, right? Or going in North America, because I'm used to North America. Like, let me tell you something funny. For us, me and my partners back in Canada, we were all into music, right? Because we were in entertainment. When we finish like at our club or venue or festival, whatever we're doing, we would go to our office at like 4 a.m. until like 7 a.m. All we would be doing is we have records. We just take records, just random records, and we put them. And we would just kind of like research, where is this loop from? What's the sample from? What's the original song of this? Who created the original of the original? Like kind of educating yourself.
Because you really care about what you're doing.
Of course, but at the same time, I'm seeing that people are really interested in it. For example, if you go to an Arab right now here in Dubai, or like an Emirati, right? And you talk to him or her about their music, they'll know like their 90s, 80s, 70s music because that's their culture, right? We keep forgetting that hip hop and R&B, and as much as it's global, it just became global, right? Not that long ago. So when you're looking at early 2000s and before that, you're talking mainly about North America. It's very difficult to kind of come to this side of the world in the Arab world. And I remember when I was a kid as well, music, like my friends didn't speak English very well, so music to them was just kind of like, oh, I like this beat, and just kind of go with it, right? And the more the top 40 things, if it's not on the radio, then I'm never gonna find out about it, because there was no Spotify, there was no iTunes, there was none of these things, there's no YouTube, right? So the only thing you'll listen to is the radio,
That's such
whatever
a good point.
comes on the radio.
Yep.
So that education is different.
True.
So that's why it's very difficult now to understand. It's just
that
kind
makes
of
so much sense.
Yeah.
Actually, that
Yeah.
makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the difference in cultures, and that's why Dubai is very difficult.
Well, you're doing great, I think, so far.
I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best.
How would you typically prepare for a night of DJing, preparing for a set? Like, is there a process that you go through? Or do you do it different every time? Tell us a little bit about that.
It's different every single time.
Okay.
Honestly, the DJs, I'll be very cruel with this thing.
Be my guest.
Yeah, DJs who prepare their sets are not really DJs, because you're going there expecting people to be really good with what you have ready. But then you have different people every single night.
True.
This is why I like small clubs more than big clubs. Why? Because big clubs is very different from playing a small crowd. A small crowd, you really have to please them. You know what I mean? Like, you really have to please them. Because that small crowd, they're like with you. They're just in the zone with you. If you're not doing a good job, then right away you'll know. If you go to a big place, majority of people are gonna be either drunk or just, they don't care, right? They're there for the spot. They'll dance to anything you put on. Like, if you, without mentioning names, if you go to certain places here in Dubai that like take in more than a thousand people, usually tourists, it goes off regardless of what you put. You literally can put any song, you know, and they just go off because they're there to just get drunk and have a good time. Versus going to more of like the trendy spots, or like 100 people, 200 people, 300 people. Those people will like dedicate your whole night. So for me, I'm never ready for, like, I never sit down and go, okay, this is what I'm gonna play tonight. I have over like 2-3 terabytes of music on hard drives. I put it there, I sit down, I always go early. I hate DJs who show up 5 minutes before their gig. Because one, they have no idea what the guy before them played. They have no idea what the crowd is like. They have no idea how warmed up they are. And they just show up and they play half of the same music that the guy played before them. And it takes them an hour to catch a vibe. So they just wasted another hour in prime time. And they go, why did people leave? Why are people leaving? Why can't I catch a vibe? Why are people tired at the end of the night? It's because you didn't show up early enough to understand what's going on.
This makes so much sense.
Yeah, so this is what's making me unique, is because I kind of understand how the crowd is, but I don't blame DJs. You know why? Because I come from a management point of view. Like running clubs, owning clubs, venues, doing festivals, the entertainment part, I kind of understand the sales and marketing and like understanding how people are, and I kind of translate that into music. And that's the difference. So yeah, it's a process. It's mathematical process.
Okay.
Whether
Well, you're also a businessman, right? So simultaneously, you have your architectural career here, and you're running your DJing with the architecture side by side. So you have a business-oriented mind.
Yes.
I think that sets you aside from maybe some of the others.
Yeah, of course.
And speaking of this, how do you balance nighttime, late night DJs with a daytime professional job?
It's a very bad, there's no balance.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's a problem. It's very difficult to balance it, because the daytime is more of like, this is your career to make money and just kind of make a good living to be comfortable, right? And I'm put in a situation where things are like very difficult now, because I'm in the family business, and the family business is like multiple companies, multiple factories, all in construction, whether it's building materials, whether it's firms, whether it's this, whether it's that, right? And then on the other side, I have my own businesses that I kind of carried on from Canada, which is like in AI, which is in the medical field, which is completely different from everything.
Yeah.
So for me, my head is running at like 1,000 kilometers per hour every single day. The reason why I choose DJing over sleep, which is the truth, is because when I'm DJing, there's absolutely nothing going on here.
Right.
I am
It's
only
your
doing
peace.
this. Yeah, exactly. So I'm just enjoying my time, very relaxed. I'm having a good time, you know? Versus if I sleep, and during this time, I'm having nightmares. I'm thinking about how I'm gonna do when I wake up. You know, all these people that I fought with during the day, they show up. Like, it's very difficult, right? So for me, I sleep less, which is bad health-wise. I gained 25 kilograms since I like moved here, and it's because of that. It's because I sleep 2-3 hours a night, But it's just a lifestyle, you know. You choose your happiness and kind of
I totally agree with
make
you
it
on
work.
that.
Yeah. You're in the same position too. So, yeah, it's difficult, right? So,
Absolutely.
it's very difficult.
But however, I now prefer sleep.
Yeah.
Before, I used to be out partying till 3, 4, 5, and people were like, how could you go out party and go to work 8, 9 the next day? Because I could relate exactly what you were saying.
Exactly.
That was my peace.
Yeah.
But now I just want my sleep, to be honest. I don't know what it is. Something inside me changed.
But you need to find something that you really enjoy. You'll choose it over sleep.
But the nightlife scene has changed,
Yeah.
and perhaps that's why I don't enjoy going out anymore.
Yeah.
Because I used to like old school pre-COVID nightlife. I used to love to go out to party. I mean, I couldn't wait to go out, not even just to get lit, but like to party, to dance on tables, to like, I love to dance and I love energy and lights and vibes. It's not there anymore. So probably that's why I'm not really bothered anymore about the nightlife.
A lot of people say that.
It's the truth.
A lot of people say that.
I mean, club life is one of the reasons I love life, you know? I mean, but it doesn't really exist anymore. Yeah. I'll tell you a secret. Right before COVID came in and I signed with VMC, the boss signed me up to do a show called Generation Rara, where we were supposed to be out in every nightclub filming and featuring every club. Yeah. COVID hit shortly after I signed with this studio. And then we kind of like rebranded and redid everything. And now, even if we were to bring Generation Rara back, it's not there.
It doesn't exist.
What we wanted to do isn't there anymore.
It doesn't exist.
But I mean, alhamdulillah, we're still better than a lot of other places in the world, right?
Oh, no,
100%. Like 100%. We can dance, we can do other things. People are still locked down, like in certain countries, which is ridiculous. People are still wearing masks, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, no, this place is the future for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of future, what do you see for yourself, for your future as Kardiac? Maybe let's say, give me 5 years from now, where's Kardiac gonna be?
Honestly, best possible scenario for me would be to just kind of go back to touring.
Okay.
I miss that, you know. I miss playing different like places.
You can do Ras Al Khaimah. You can do Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do Dubai.
I've already been doing that.
Don't leave. Ajman.
Yeah, I need to reorganize myself, and I miss playing festivals.
Okay,
festivals, like playing my own music, you know, just kind of like going really hard. I'm very hyper when it comes down to like to DJing. I'm not the type of DJ that just kind of like zone down on the laptop and just, you know, like I like to go on the mic. I like to hype people up, go crazy.
That's what I love. I love when DJs do that.
Yeah, of course, because you're establishing a full connection with the crowd.
Yeah.
If you don't, then there's absolutely no vibe. It's as if you're just playing an MP3 player.
Correct.
And I tell this to every single DJ. You know how I started? I know a lot of really, really good technical DJs that I've seen here in Dubai, and they're missing the entertainment aspect of it. So there's a technical aspect and there's entertainment aspect. When you're technical, sure, you can just make a mix and play it. It's as same exactly as you going and start playing it. A lot of DJs here I see, they focus so hard on what would you like as a DJ. That's wrong. Why?
I have heard in some venues, sorry to cut you off, the same, and I can repeat every song. I know the mix. It's old, and I'm like, I've heard this. And I can tell you what song is coming next. And people are like, how do you know? I'm like, he's not playing. I know this this mixtape. I know it.
I'll tell you why.
That's terrible.
I'll tell you why that happens. It's because I'm fortunate enough to have a day job that is giving me the living that I would like to live.
Right.
That keeps my passion going as passion and pure joy and talent, right? Which when I go to a club, I'm going there specifically to go crazy, you know, to give the best quality possible. Versus other people that this is their job. And that's when it changes,
Makes
you know?
sense.
Your passion, when it becomes a job, a career, it just dies down. So that's why when you go to multiple clubs in Dubai, you hear the same music. You know how many DMs I have and people in face-to-face, they go, we hear the same playlist, same music, every single place we go to. And I blame the DJs because when I talk to the DJs and I say, why do you guys do this? They go, this is what they like. It's like, yeah, but why? You're the person that sets the trend.
And how do you know if the crowd changes so much?
Not just that, you're the person that is right. You're the most important person in the whole night.
Yes.
So if you don't set the
Say
vibe,
that again.
Yeah, you're literally the most important person. Because without you, the night is not going to be right. Right? So if you're setting the trend correctly and you're introducing things, it works. You know, I've had nights where people are looking at me, staring at me like, what are you doing? Right? but they understand later on. It's just, it's lack, again, I go back to this, it's lack of education. It's lack of education. So us, experienced people, experienced DJs, you just need to fully like go hardcore and just educate people, you know, teach them how things are going. People listening to you, what's the difference between you and radio? There's literally the exact same thing. You're the radio at the club. So you need to show new people new music.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
And whether it's, why are you still playing the exact same remix? You know, there's millions and millions and millions of other producers that are unknown producers that bring out so many cool mashups and remixes. All you gotta do, I have another thing. DJs come up to me, where'd you get this song from? Online. Yeah, but like where? I'm like, it's not my job to tell you.
Exactly.
Man. Like you should go and find your own music. Why do you want my music? You know, this makes me unique. And also, like, I don't overplay a song.
Yeah.
It gets to a point where, okay, let's say this song is a hit for 2 years.
All I need.
Like, sure, yeah. Like till now it's still, till now it's like good, right?
Where people actually got so tired of
exactly,
it.
but why they got tired of the same exact mix.
Right.
Change it up.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, take
Good
the acapella.
point.
People like the acapella.
I want to come to your DJ night.
Yeah, come to, you need to.
Meaning listening to you
to.
talk,
Yeah,
I feel hype. I want to show up and be like, you're exciting me with
really
what you're
need to,
saying about how you play.
But I told you, the difference is, this is my passion.
Yeah.
Like, I don't do it for girls. I don't do it for alcohol. I don't do it for the money. You know, like I truly do it because I love it. And people are going to be like, oh, this guy's lying.
No.
When you come and see my shows, you'll understand.
Well, why would I? Of course
the first thing I tell a venue when I walk in is, I tell the security, I don't want a single human being approaching me. I don't care if it's Miss World, you know, or the president of whatever, or I've had very, very successful celebrities, billionaires, like they try to come and like talk, and I have that strict rule of, you cannot come and interrupt what I'm doing. Because if you're doing a surgery, and this is obviously, I'm not a doctor, but at the same time, like, if you have a surgeon doing surgery,
yes,
you're not gonna have a family member come and be like, hey, what are you doing? Can you do this? Can you do that? Like,
correct.
You're gonna interrupt the flow of what I'm doing, right?
Correct.
And when you're a DJ, you're literally like thinking 3-4 songs ahead. At the same time, you're reading the crowd. So your brain, as much as I look, I'm having fun, I'm under so much pressure, you know, like so much pressure to the point that at the end of the night, my brain is shattered, you know? Because I'm thinking, okay, what's gonna happen if I play this next song? How is it gonna go? And if it doesn't go well, what's the other song that I can kick in right away? And if that doesn't work, what can I do here? And what can I do there?
And a lot of the DJs that don't match the beats, like the BPMs, go up, down, up. I'm like, come on, guys, let it flow at least.
But that cuts the vibe.
It does.
That cuts the vibe.
It does.
Again, lack of education. Because it's science, right? You gotta understand the science of music. I'm lucky enough because I have a degree in this, in audio in general. So I understand the science of music, where every single layer of music hits in the body, right?
Absolutely.
So you need to understand this to keep the vibe going. Because if you start, like you said, and it's something called in DJing, it's like cutting, where DJs would just cut into a song. I don't agree with this. Why? Because you're killing the vibe. You might, oh my God, you probably experienced this. Some DJs cut it right on the spot where it needs to be played out. Some songs need to be played out for a couple of choruses, right? There's the second chorus has like some really cool places, and DJs just...
I get irritated, yes, it's true.
It kills me. I never have fun when I go out. I never have fun when I go out because I'm sitting down there just critiquing and just like, oh my God, you're stressing me out. You know, I'm like, why would you do this? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? It just kills me, right?
Any favorite DJs?
In Dubai?
No, in worldwide.
Well...
Like, do you have anybody that's like your inspiration as a DJ or like favorite DJs?
Yeah, my all-time...
In the world?
Yeah, my all-time favorite is Armin van Buuren.
Okay.
Like, I grew up on him, you know?
Okay.
It was my dream to work with him. And I have one of my tracks on his album, which is like, that was like a huge thing for me, you know? And opening for him multiple times, just meeting him, talking to him. He's a great guy. I got a lot of inspiration from him because he's a businessman as well.
Okay.
He's a lawyer.
Oh, so, wow, I didn't know that.
He's very business oriented, you know, and that just shows you that this can be a career if you make it a career, right? And you take out all the other little things, the tiny things that will just distract you from making it big. Angel, I've only been here for what, 1.5 years now, and you know me now, so which is very big thing, you know, like it's different. I've played almost all the big places here in Dubai. I
So
got
tell us about some
signed.
of the venues you've played at, actually.
Yeah, I played at Blah Blah. I played at Blue, Float, O Dubai, Mafia, multiple places, you know.
Wow.
I played in Oman. I played in Qatar.
Just now, recently, you were in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
right?
I was in Abu Dhabi for
Yeah.
Bread Festival. That was crazy. I played the official FIFA World Cup fan zone here for 12,000, 13,000 people. That was amazing.
Wow.
So it's like, for me to be in Dubai a year and a half.
Such a short period of time to have done all this.
And
It's
knowing,
incredible.
And knowing nobody, right?
It's incredible.
Yeah, but that's where, you know, a lot of people would be like, hard work pays off. It's a lie. Hard work is not, there's so many things under hard work, right? That if you don't have, you can work as hard as you want. You're still not gonna get it, right? There's contacts, there's meeting people, there's having good attitude, you know, like that's the biggest thing is attitude. With DJs, sometimes I meet DJs that are like, I'm sorry, but like super small, like nobody DJ, right? And they give me that attitude of just like, I really don't want to talk to you. And then later on, they realize like, oh, this is an important person. So, hi, how are you? How's everything? Like, no, you already gave me the bad vibe from the beginning.
Yeah,
you know.
fake.
And I used to tell like my team in Canada, the promoters that used to work for me, I used to tell them one thing. I'm like, whoever you meet, this could potentially be your next boss. This could potentially be somebody super important in your life in the next couple of years. You never know, right? So treat them with respect, have good attitude, give them like a good memory of who you are. Now, if they treat you bad, then change up.
Yeah.
But don't be the first person to give that bad attitude.
Agreed.
In DJing, that's very important. In music in general.
I think in life.
In life for sure.
Life in
yeah,
general,
Yeah, in life
that's
for sure.
important.
Yeah, but specifically in this, because I'm seeing it here, you know, a lot of people just because they're in Dubai, they're, you know, they have that bad attitude. I don't understand it. It just doesn't make any sense, you know. No need for it. You see it all the time too.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So it's just very annoying.
Totally agree.
Yeah, very, very annoying. But that's why in a short period of time, I managed to get to where I am now. And same thing in Canada as well. In a short period of time, I managed to jump up is because I'm nice, you know, like I like to meet people and I'm very social. When I go to places, if you saw when I first walked in here, I shook everybody's hand. Hi, how are you? How are you? How are you? Because I like to do this. And when I go to a club, I'm the same way. I start literally hand by hand, from security to hostess to servers to the girl or guy that like cleans the washrooms and things like this. Hi, how are you? How's your day going? You know what I mean? Because these are human beings and they'll remember you. So you become their favorite. So when you show up, they're all having a good time. You know, they're all happy. They look forward to the day where you show up and hang out with them and do all these things. And I talk to them, you know, like, hey, you as the owner of the club, what are you trying to make out of tonight? You're trying to make money? You're trying to establish like a crowd of people? What is your purpose? This, and that. Okay, hey, manager, what do you want to do? Hey, server, what are you trying to do? Like, do you have any tables, specific tables here? So it all comes down to how you approach it, how you do it to make yourself really valuable for the place. And that's the biggest advice anybody could give to a musician, yeah.
If you had any young person, for example, looking at this show right now, watching you, watching me, listening to you talk about your career, everything you're doing, your vibe as a DJ, what advice would you give to a younger person who, let's say, would want to follow in your footsteps?
Don't follow my footsteps. No, seriously. Every person is different.
Okay.
This is the biggest thing in music. There is a very famous person told me this. I just don't remember exactly who. I was in the States, and he said that what makes you different from other people is your unique personality, or your way of approaching situations. You can sit down and open a book and read about Calvin Harris and just kind of be like, oh, this is how he started. This is how he did everything, you know? And I'm going to do exactly the same.
That's true.
But that's not you. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not you.
So basically find your path.
Find your path on your own.
Yeah.
You know, find what you want to do and be super passionate about it to the point that you wake up before your alarm. I wake up before my alarm. Like straight up, I wake up, I turn my alarm before it goes on. Why? Because I love it. When I went to audio engineering school, it was probably the hardest school I've ever done, and I've done architecture. It's extremely hard. You literally, you're studying, it's like condensed, 5 years condensed in 1 year. and you don't sleep, you're tired, but I woke up happy, you know? I woke up like, let's go. Let's do this, you know? Like, this is amazing. Why? Because you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
So my advice, I guess, is just create your own path. As vague as that sounds, is create your own path and know exactly what you want out of it. Don't just be like, I want to be a DJ. Why do you want to be the DJ?
Yeah, good point, yeah.
Yeah, like, what do you want to go with this? What do you want to do with it? If you say, oh, because it pays, you're in the wrong field.
Right.
Because you're not going to enjoy it. DJing is not like an easy job, you know? People hate you. People send you really bad DMs sometimes. Some guys don't like you because their girlfriends like you. Some girls don't like you because their other girls like you. It's like such drama in the whole thing, you know? Some venue doesn't like you because you went to another venue. Some promoter doesn't like you because you're doing this. Producer this because he thinks you stole this. That guy, you're doing better than him, so there's competition. It's a hectic, crazy world. If you're not really into it, you're just not going to be successful at it. You're going to hate it and you're going to leave. And again, going back to the advice is, there is millions and millions and millions and millions of people that are more talented than you, better than you, better attitude, everything. They're only missing one thing, which is somebody to put them on.
Right.
But how are you gonna get there if you're stuck in your bedroom, just making music and being like, one day somebody's gonna get to me?
Right.
It's not gonna happen, right? So,
Totally agree with you.
Yeah, being social is very important. Very important. I see a lot of people talk like online. I like to like read a lot of like random posts. And people would just be like, oh, I'm antisocial, I'm antisocial, I'm antisocial, I'm antisocial. This is just my lifestyle. No, don't make it your lifestyle. I understand. I wasn't social. Going on the mic, you know, Angela, how I used to go on the mic before? I remember the first time I picked up the mic, I choked so hard, so hard. You know, I was like, I didn't know what to do, to the point that I was like, okay, no, I need to figure myself out. I would go stand in front of the mirror and watch my movement. Literally, I'm like, okay, when I jump, how am I going to jump? How do I look when I'm jumping? When I do this, when I do that? And then I start practicing phrases, just kind of like, how's everybody doing? This is in front of a mirror, until I like kind of mastered the comfortableness of like.
I mean, I think with anything you do in life, you have to practice, you have to work at it. So it's the same. Somebody 100%. Playing sports, the same. They have to do it. Yeah. So I think that's really good advice for you to give. Yeah. Tell me something. If people wanted to find you out there, how would they find you? Instagram.
Yeah,
websites?
Instagram, all social media is Kardiac_.
Okay.
Kardiac with KHA. Yeah, send me a DM. I'm one of the very few guys that if you send me a DM, I'll respond right away.
I love it.
Yeah, anybody has questions, they need advice, they want to talk, they want to come out, whatever it is.
Want to book you for shows?
Yeah, anything.
Hit him up, guys.
Yeah, hit me up.
I love it.
So,
that was great. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, boys and girls, that is all the time that we have for today. A big thank you to DJ Kardiac.
Thank
of course,
you so much.
Yes, absolutely. We look forward to seeing more of him here in Dubai. I'll be checking him out very soon. Broadcasting for influential Dubai, I am Angela Gegg. See you guys next time, same place.